amazing how fast the season's going. I think our Fun Mondays are about to end. I think we've got one more, so let's enjoy them while we can. We'd like to just start and thank our game day production crew. I think they did a great job on Saturday with Military Appreciation Day, the pregame events and activities there. The flyover was awesome, and those guys have done a great job all year. Also would like to take an opportunity to wish Coach Vivian Stringer good luck tomorrow. She's going for her 1,000th, if I can't even say it right, career victory, which is amazing. Actually started following her when I was a kid back in Iowa, and she was the coach at the University of Iowa. Been a big fan of hers, and it's been great to get to know her during my time here, and wish her and her team good luck in that game tomorrow. This week is senior day for us. It's a big day. You know, we're playing Penn State, which is a big game, good opponent coming to town, but it's more about senior day and having the opportunity to send our seniors off on a positive note. I hope our fans will show up and cheer these guys on and show some appreciation for everything that they've invested into this program, into this university. I believe that this group of young men has represented this program and university with class and integrity, and again, they've invested a lot of time and effort to try to make this program go, and I can't thank them enough. And it's really important that we as a Rutgers community send these guys off on a positive note, and I hope the fans will come and do that. With that, guys, I'll just go ahead and open up for any questions that you guys may have.
I'm actually curious on your relationship with Vivian Stringer. Do you, as a coach, you know, you said that you admire her, but you know, do you pick up anything from her, just the way she handles her players? I mean, you know, what sort of things do you pick up from her as a coach? Well,
you know, I've not like been in her locker room, obviously, and yeah. We've talked about coaching before in our conversations. One of the things that I do know is she has great relationships with people. She's great with her staff. She's got great relationships with her players, and that really sticks out. And she's been a consistent winner for a long, long time.
And then from a football perspective, Art, I think, went into the game this past week with the longest string of passes without an interception in the Big Ten. I think it was 70. I know he threw one in the fourth quarter, but what has he been doing differently, maybe, where he's not as interception, you know, hasn't thrown as many interceptions of late? You know, has it been consistency? Is it the offense? What, you know, why has that string been so impressive?
Well, I think there's a combination of a few things there. First and foremost, I think it's the overall plan. Trying to, Coach McNulty and the offensive staff putting together a plan that is simpler for him to execute and to try to build some confidence. The second part of it, I think the protection has been better. You look at the number of sacks. We haven't given up a lot of sacks here recently, and I think he's gotten some confidence because of that. And I think Art himself has just worked really, really hard to improve. And he's improved his mechanics. He's improved his understanding of the offense. He's improved his decision making on game day. I think he's trying to take care of the ball better instead of force things like he was earlier in the year. So it's hard to say there's just one thing. I think it's a combination of a number of things. And we needed him to do that. We need him to continue to go down that path for our offense to improve. But he's worked extremely hard, and I think the offensive line has worked really hard to try to protect him too.
When you look at Penn State, one thing that stands out is McSorley. I think he's only completing 55% of his passes. I mean, what are defenses doing to them? They're still scoring a lot of points to kind of, I mean, what do they do to kind of, I guess, combat that inefficiency and still have success in offense?
Well, to start, Tracy's a great player. He's a tremendous quarterback. He can beat you with his feet and beat you with his arm. Just spent the last, 5-6 hours, watching film of him. And he's a competitor, and I don't know if it's necessarily anything that a defense is doing to slow him down, because he's still got a lot of production. He's still very dangerous. It's a different team than they had last year. The pieces around him are a little bit different, but he's still a great player. He's fun to watch.
How glad are you going to be seeing him graduate then, I guess?
Well, he's not a lot of fun to compete against on game day, I can tell you that. Again, just because he's so competitive and he's athletic and he's smart. He makes good decisions.
This week's game, did you take a different approach last week? Did the seniors here on the last game? I know the season hasn't gone how you like, but did you try to give a little extra motivation to try and get this last win at home?
We try to motivate them every week, and that's part of our job is motivation. We take that very seriously, and this week is no different. We've got a game to try to go compete in and win, and it just happens to be senior day, so it is a little extra special. There usually is a little extra motivation for the football team. If you've got good relationships and great chemistry on your team, and you've got a group of guys that have invested a lot, there is extra motivation for everybody involved. And that's what it is this week. It's still a challenge to go out and try to play our best football. We got a great opponent coming to town, but it is about trying to send these guys off the right way too.
How it said that you're with Checo and Blackshear. Do you start to maybe look at these next two games as a way to kind of experiment with how you might use them going forward? Because obviously they're both going to be returning, and maybe we've seen more creativity the past few weeks in Wildcat, how you're deploying and lining up Blackshear here and there.
Well, it's obvious to everybody that those two guys have playmaking ability, and our job is to get our best players on the field and try to find a way to get the ball into our best players' hands that can make some things happen. And those two guys can do it. So we'll continue to look at ways to get both of those guys on the field and get the ball in their hands. But we've done that more and more here as the season's gone on. We'll continue to do that as we go. I'm just excited that they're both going to be coming back next year and bring us hopefully some big playmaking ability.
And there's been a lot of talk about Blackshear playing more wide receiver. Do you think that his skill set would fit that, or is he better off being a running back and kind of having matchups with linebackers and safeties as opposed to cornerbacks?
Well, what he's done so far, he's not been matched up on a corner, and we would not have it do that. His skill set is unique in the fact that he can play wide receiver and he can play running back. That's what he did in high school. That's what we recruited him to do. And finally, right now, we're kind of getting to the point that we can do that with him. He really embraces that role and that opportunity to do both positions, and we're excited to continue to develop him and grow the packages that we have with him out there in multiple positions, and we'll continue to do that as we move forward.
You just said early development of the freshman class, not necessarily hard to check them, but some of these other guys that maybe haven't played as much work on.
Well, we played quite a few of them, whether it be for the 4 games or guys that are, we've earned the red shirt. I think we've got a really good group of freshmen that we brought in this last year, the true freshman class I'm talking about. And there's some guys that have done a great job on offense. Some guys are getting a few reps on defense. Some guys are really showing up on special teams. So I'm excited about the core group. And then we have some guys that are really developing in practice that I'm excited about as we move forward that may not have played in a game yet. So overall, if you ask me about the group, I'm happy with the group. Some guys are really close to doing some great things for us. Some got a little further to go than others, but they're all working hard. They've all got great attitudes and are pleased with what they're doing so far this year.
I think every senior class, kind of piggyback off what Bobby asked before, but every senior class probably has its own characteristic. What kind of stands out about this group? I know you've had 3, this is your 3rd one as a head coach. What kind of stands out about this senior class as a whole? Well,
it's a small one. That's the first thing that stands out. They've been through a lot. They came in with a lot of guys, and not many of them are left. I look at our season here this year. It hasn't gone like any of us wanted, but I truly believe we have improved, especially here as of late. And a lot of that is because of that. When a senior goes through this type of senior year, it's easy for them to shut it down and quit and start to focus on what's next for them. These guys have not done that. That's unique to me. It's because they've got great character, they've had a lot of investment, they've got great relationships, and they've really led the charge on our continued preparation and helped us improve. They've kept the young guys focused, and I can't think of enough for that. But that to me is something that's kind of unique in this situation, is how they've handled it with class and professionalism, and they continue to work every single day.
And then 2 seniors I wanted to ask about in particular. One, Trevor Morris. I think he has 91 tackles, 9 more. He has over 100 for a 3rd straight season. Not too many guys in Rutgers history have ever done that. And then I guess Isaiah Wharton, starting at every game over his 4 years. How difficult is that, especially from the position that he plays?
We'll start with Trevor. Trevor's really come a long way. I still remember the first spring practice when we got here and he got out there. He really hadn't done anything. Hadn't played And he's really come a long ways, developed. He's got bigger, he's matured, he's learned how to study the game. He's pretty serious about playing as well as he can. So I can't say enough things about Trevor, the way he's developed over the last few years. Isaiah, you know, to sit here and look at a kid that started every game, you know, over the last 4 years, I guess, or whatever it is, it's pretty impressive. You know, you don't see a lot of guys doing that in this league, and he's been able to do it. It's a testament to him of taking care of his body, you know, because that's what he's done. Every year, you know, there's someone trying to beat him out, and he just keeps getting better. And he's just Mr. Consistency. He's always in the right spot. You trust him. He's reliable. He's a great leader for everyone in the room. So, again, I can't say enough good things about Isaiah.
I know I asked you about Reggie Sutton after the game on Saturday, but just to clarify, why the number change? Does he have to have an eligible number?
Yeah.
And this is not a permanent change, right?
No. Reggie Sutton's an offensive lineman that right now we wanted to find a role for him.
And the other question, I know it's been a trying season. It's your last home game. I mean, what's sort of your message to fans? I mean, it's the last time a lot of them are going to see you guys in person until the spring game.
Just kind of like what I talked about at the start. You know, Saturday is about our seniors, and it is about the future too. I mean, I think the last couple of games you've seen some of our younger players on display making plays, and hopefully fans get excited about what they can do as they continue to grow and develop. But it's really about our seniors and sending them off on a positive note and helping cheer them on in a big game here this Saturday. Again, these guys have invested so much, and you know, the career necessarily as a team hasn't gone the way they had hoped, but they have stayed the course, and man, they're all Rutgers, and hopefully fans appreciate that and come out and cheer them on, but also get excited about our future and the young players that are out there playing.
Take 2 more questions. If we have. Anything else?
All right, guys, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.